Hello, my name is Stefan Benkowski, and this is a little tutorial on how to sound a lot better at guitar than you actually are. I'm going to do a few of these. I'm doing these for music therapy student organization at Arizona State University, and it's part of a presentation I'm doing on pop music and why it's so effective and how to utilize it in music therapy. So basically this is going to be about, I'm going to do 3 keys. This tutorial is in the key of C, and to show you some easy ways to play some chords that sound pretty good and aren't very complicated. So basically there are 2 things, 2 ways to have the key of C sound a little bit better than just playing standard chords. The first one is to keep the high E string as well as your index finger on the C. So that has the root and the third. Those are going to act as your drones. And all the other chords you're going to play are going to be based off of those 2 notes. So the tension and release are based off of those 2 notes. So I'll just kind of go chord by chord. I'll do the 4 main chords used in pop music, so 1, 4, 5, and 6. So for this, 1, just your standard C. Those of you who I'm doing this for, you already know what C is. So then going to the 4, the next up, I think there's really 2 good ways to play this. So whatever you think sounds better or you're more comfortable with. So you're either going to move these 2 fingers, your ring and your middle finger, you're going to move them down to the D and the G string, but keep them in the same position. And going back and forth, so it should sound like normal C, and then there's your 4, there's your F. So why that sounds better is because the E is the drone, and that's the major 7th in the chord. So instead of just sounding like standard chord, adds a little bit of color, it sounds really good. And personally, I think that's a lot easier when you're just starting out than a full bar chord. And it's a lot easier. So that's one way. Another way is to simply add your pinky on the 3rd fret of the D string. So you're going C, C, and then you want to go to F. All you do is add the pinky right on there, right on the 3rd string, 3rd fret of the D string. And you don't even have to lift up your middle finger. You can keep it right in the same place. So it never has to move at all. Just going right back and forth. So that's to the 4. To the 5, the standard G is just like that, but I personally like keeping my pointer finger on the C there, and that creates an add 4 suspension, and you can resolve it if you want or not. I like to not resolve it personally, and that ends up giving that sound. And it's a lot of dissonance, a lot of tension, which is what you want because it's the 5 chord. You're typically ending a phrase and you want it to get tenser and eventually resolve back to the C. So playing those 3 chords, it'll go C, F, and C. See, and all the while, even when you go to the G, you're keeping your ring and your middle finger in the same position. So if you watch them, these 2 right here, stay the same there. C, same position, F, back to the C, down to the G. They hardly move at all. So you can either practice it by playing regular time, or you can just sit there while you're watching TV, just practice going like that. Should become cake eventually. So the 6 can add a little bit of interest to your chord progression. And all you do is you have your C, lift off your ring finger. And there you have it. It's technically it's a 7th chord, minor 7th chord. And so having that G in there, one makes it easier to play than a regular A minor because you're not adding another note. and I personally think it sounds better. So, so here I'll just kind of play it one more time for you. You've got C, and then F, C, G, add 4, and then to the 6, and then to G, F, and if for some reason you have a really big thumb and you play with your thumb wrapped around like the classical people tell you not to, then you can even wrap your thumb around all the way and hit the first fret while you're playing the F, and that'll sound really good, but just, you know, if you can do it, it'll sound better, and then you don't have to worry about not playing that E string, because that doesn't sound very good. Continuing with C, the other way to make it sound better, in my opinion, is adding the G on top with your pinky. And you can basically, you can use the same 4 chords, and just making sure you have your pinky on top, so you can go, and then go to the F, so what that is doing is you have the 5th now, so when you play the 4 with the 5th on top, it's a 9, so it's an add 9, and then the G still has the add 4, which you can resolve if you want, but I like not resolving it because it sounds better, and then you're just doubling the 7th on the A minor, and that's how to play easy and interesting chords in the key of C.